why your 20s are the hardest years of your life and how to avoid these mistakes. Your 20s feel like you could be stranded in the middle of the ocean, no land in sight, no map, just endless directions. You could swim in, but with no way to know which one is right. You could chase a career, a relationship, or a dream. But what if you're swimming in the wrong direction? What if years later you realize you wasted time and energy heading towards something that doesn't matter? That's exactly why your 20s are some of the hardest years of your life. Here's the thing, nobody gives you a guidebook for adulthood. One day you're a teenager with no real responsibilities, and now you're expected to have a career, financial stability, and a plan for the future. But how are you supposed to make the right choices when you're still trying to figure out who you even are? You feel the pressure. You see people on social media landing dream jobs, starting businesses, traveling. It feels like everyone has it together except you. And that's where a lot of us mess up. Instead of making intentional choices, we drift. We go after what's easiest or what's most fun in the moment. You make decisions based off of comfort, what looks good on the outside, without realizing these choices will follow us for years, maybe even decades. I want to share I want to share with you some of the mistakes I made in my 20s so you don't have to learn it the hard way. Wasting time on the wrong things. I spent way too much time on things that don't move me forward, whether it was staying in a job I hated, procrastinating on goals, or choosing short term fun over long term growth. Time moves fast. The things you put off now will be harder to fix later. One day I was 18, now I'm 26. It goes in a blink of an eye. Ignoring financial stability. In your 20s, it's easy to think, I'll worry about money later, but that later can come up real quick. I didn't take budgeting or saving seriously, and now I'm paying for it. If you don't start building financial discipline now, you could wake up in your 30s and 40s and you'll still be stuck in a paycheck to paycheck cycle. I've also, you know, didn't take my health serious. Late nights, staying up late nights, bad diets, skipping workouts, it catches up. And as well as mental health, it really does catch up when you don't pay attention to them. It sneaks up on you maybe when you least expect it. And as we get older, your body doesn't bounce back as you think. We're not teenagers, we're not kids anymore. The habits you form in your 20s will stick with you. And I'd also like to reiterate fear. Fear is something that has held me back. As someone who suffers from anxiety, overthinking, and just a bunch of other mental stuff, I'm not gonna get into it right now. Um, I played it too safe too often, staying in my comfort zone, not taking risks, and worrying too much about what people would think. You know, your 20s are the best time to take risks. Start that business, switch careers, travel, meet people, because it only gets harder later. And we're only young ones. So, who cares what people think? Go up to that girl, you know? Who cares if you look stupid? Go walk into that workplace, ask for an interview. Who cares, bro? It's worth trying. We only got one life, so it's worth trying. So how do you avoid these mistakes? How do you make your 20s count? Well, take your time seriously. You don't have to have everything figured out, but you should be making progress, investing in yourself, learn new skills, try new things. These are this is a time where you gotta be active. You can't be wasting these years, and you could easily get stuck in places where you don't want to be, and they won't help you grow. You need to get your finances in order. Start budgeting now. Build an emergency fund. Avoid unnecessary debt. And the habits you create now will set you up for a much easier 30s and 40s. Your future self will surely thank you for that. So prioritize your health, whether it be physical or mental. Eat well, take care of yourself, go to the gym. Let me reiterate, your future self will appreciate you taking care of your weight, mental health, or whatever it is you need to work on yourself. And more than anything, take risks, bet on yourself. The worst thing isn't failing, it's looking back and realizing you never even tried. Your 20s are the time to be taking risks, and you have the flexibility to recover. You don't want to wake up in your 90s one day looking back and saying, I should have done this. I should have done this. Think about it like this. Think about you were 90 years old. Pretend you're 90 years old and you've been given a chance to be your age again. We would live things differently, Pretend it's a second chance. Pretend we're going to make this, we're going to make it count, We gotta make it count. But as I said, your 20s are not supposed to be easy. They're supposed to be the years where you struggle, make mistakes, grow. But if you're willing to learn from them, the choices you make now will shape you for the rest of your life. So don't just drift, and start swimming in the right direction. And, hopefully you'll land where you want to be. But anyways, this is my video on why your 20s count. I don't have it figured out myself, but these are some advices I've read from books, from videos, and from personal experience that I think are solid enough to be applied for people that are in their 20s or about to be 20. But let's not make this video go any longer. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate you all. Let's make this decade count,